Hey guys, it's me. It's your boy, Eustace. I'm here again. I'm, I guess I haven't gone anywhere. I guess, and I'm still here. It's me. If you didn't know and you didn't click on the video or see the channel, if maybe you didn't do any of that stuff, and I just popped up. Well, then surprise. It's your birthday, and you didn't even know it. It's amazing. Anyway, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about the most racist thing on the planet. Obviously, asking for ID in order to vote in an election. Clearly the most racist thing that has ever been constructed by the white man since the founding of the United States. Actually, even further back, it's probably something that, like, I don't know, Great Britain came up with or something. That sounds like something they do over there. Bunch of racist ninnies over there or something. I don't know. Not anymore. They've been conquered internally. Anyway, so what are we talking about? We're talking about voter ID and the SAVE Act. And as you can see from the thing I've got just kind of slapped up here on the screen, so it did pass the House already. And we'll see. We'll see what happens beyond that. But it was a lot closer than it should have been. I don't understand why it was so close. We had one Democrat vote yay, which I'm pretty sure. What's his name from Pennsylvania? What's his name? Oh my gosh, Fetterman. Pretty sure it was Fetterman. That's the one that voted yes. And then 213 Democrats voted nay, as in they don't want voter ID. And I just, I made this channel mainly for myself, I'll say, because I feel so strongly about things sometimes, but I play it safe and I never say anything, and I just bite my tongue and sit there and be quiet. Like I don't have a voice. So this is my outreach. Outreach. This is my outlet. There's words are hard sometimes, guys. I'm sorry. This is my outlet. So anyway, voter ID. I don't even understand why this is even a question. Why wouldn't you want to be able to prove who is voting in the elections, especially with the border being completely wide open the last few years with the Biden-Harris administration? There was absolutely no vetting of people coming across the border, and they go to these sanctuary cities and they get IDs and they can drive cars and vote and get benefits. But if you ask anyone, that none of that was ever happening. But there's proof that it was happening. Like, why do we play these games? I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it here. So, what falls into the SAVE Act and all that fun stuff? Let's look.
The House has officially passed the GOP's Save America Act. The act would require government-mandated proof of citizenship, such as passports or birth certificates, to register to vote. It would also require states to remove non-citizens from existing voter rolls.
Yep, good
Supporters
idea.
of the bill say it would protect election integrity and crack down on non-citizen voting, while opponents argue the bill would make registering harder for millions of voters. So
you know what? Good. If you're too stupid to figure out how to vote, maybe you shouldn't vote. Like, it's like driving a car, for example. So in order to legally drive a vehicle, you have to pass a written test and a driving test. And if you're not capable of passing those tests, then maybe you shouldn't drive. Like, it's common sense, I feel like. So yeah. So if you're too stupid to figure out how to get documents to vote, then yeah, you just probably shouldn't vote, and that save us all the headache, I think.
The Constitution already prohibits non-citizens from voting in federal and state elections, and state election boards say instances of non-citizen voting are rare. The bill now heads over to the Senate, where it faces a potential filibuster from the Democrats. So let's bring in ABC News legal contributor James Sample for more on this. So James, your thoughts on this bill?
Perry, you laid it out very well. This is a bill that would dramatically change the role of the federal government in the administration of federal elections. Even though federal elections are, by definition, for federal office, they are administered primarily at the state level, and that is a function of Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution, which the framers of the Constitution made very clear gives the states the primary responsibility for administering elections and gives the federal government only a small backup role. But this would dramatically shift that balance if it were to become law. And it would, most importantly and most immediately, pose significant barriers for individuals, many individuals who are already U.S. citizens, who've in many cases voted many times properly, because they would have to obtain not just identification, but identification that in many instances would require them to show a passport or a birth certificate establishing U.S. citizenship. Now, for many Americans, most Americans even, that is not a significant harm.
Exactly. I didn't want to interrupt you for a second. Like, you just need a birth certificate. Like, if you were born in the United States, you have a birth certificate. And if you don't currently have your birth certificate, it's easy to get. You just supply what documentation you do have to, what's it called? Gosh, I'll find it. I'll find it. So it's just, you just go to Vital Records, wherever your area is, and I just searched for Vital Records, and the first one here was in the Houston, Texas area, which every county and state has Vital Records, and you just go in there and you purchase your birth certificate, and they're typically between $10 and $35 to get your birth certificate. So if voting is that important to you and you don't have your birth certificate, just pay the 10 or 35 or whatever dollars and get your birth certificate. It's not that hard. It's not. Oh God. It goes back to what I was saying. Like, if you can't figure this out, maybe you're just a retard. I don't know. God.
Hardship, but for a significant percentage of Americans, that would be a hardship that would prevent them from voting. Numbers are estimated around 21 million. The question becomes, is that cost, disenfranchising at least a significant fraction of 21 million Americans,
God, I hope so,
worth the benefit of preventing non-citizens from voting when we know?
Yes, it's totally worth the benefit. Like, there's not even a question here. You can put two things on a scale, and they're kind of close sometimes. No, you've got one side of the scale's on the fucking moon right now, and the other side of the scale is like molten slag because it's in the center of the earth already. There's nothing. There's no debate. Nothing.
From study after study, that there are only a small, and we're talking single digits per election year, number of non-citizens who actually cast a vote.
So it seems
Doesn't
like
matter. One is too many. One is too many. Two is also too many. Any number bigger than 1, 0, too many.
These are some major impacts this bill could have on voters.
Oh, there's no doubt that if this bill were to pass through the Senate, and to be clear, I think that's unlikely at the moment, but if the majority leader in the Senate, John Thune, elects to do away with the filibuster, then this bill could, that was the so-called nuclear.
Just get rid of the filibuster. Do the standing filibuster. Push this through. Please, please, for the love of Gingy.
Option. Then this bill would pass the Senate and it would go to the president, and it would have a dramatic impact, and it would be an immediate impact in the 2026 midterms.
Yes.
There would be, in many instances, chaos because of the transition period.
There's not many things that keeps me up at night, but the thought of them getting this passed and it affecting the midterms and watching the entire government, half the government, I guess, have a complete and total mental breakdown. I just laugh just thinking about it. I can't wait. That'd be good content. That's what I'm saying.
Think about November as being a long way away. From the standpoint of election administration, it's effectively tomorrow. This would be an upheaval of historic proportion.
So if this bill does become law, what kind of legal challenges could we see?
You will see legal challenges from the states who will argue.
But let's be real. You'll see legal challenges from the entire Democratic Party, and it absolutely baffles me. Not just a boggle, it baffles. Boggle baffles all of it. And the reason why I'm so confused by this, and the reason also the reason why I know that this is all just a big freaking what do you call it? And the reason why that I know that this is all just a big like scheme and ploy by the Democratic Party to stay in power pretty much forever is it's as simple as connecting dots. Like it's not hard to figure out. It's not that deep. Don't think about it too much. But if you look at just the polling right now, let's see, in 2024, 98% of Republicans supported voter ID, 84% of independents, and 67% of Democrats. Now in August of 2025, Republicans are still 95. The Democrats are up to 71% now. 71%. And I've seen numbers, I don't see it on here, but I think I saw, yeah. Here we go. So, 83 to 84% of Americans want voter ID. It's almost unanimous. There is a larger portion of Americans that want voter ID than there were for the ones that voted for the mandate of Donald Trump doing mass deportations. There's no thinking here. Just push it through. And if you gotta nuke the filibuster to do it, just freaking do it. Oh my gosh.
Justice John Paul Stevens, one of the lions of the left, wrote the majority opinion where he said voter ID laws protect the integrity of elections.
Yep.
And yet, sadly, too many Democrats today don't want to protect the integrity.
I wonder why. I wonder why they don't want to protect the integrity of elections and bring in millions of illegal immigrants and give them everything. How does Nuck say it? You give them free shit to get the retard vote? That's pretty much what we're doing. The entire Democrat Party is supported by the retard vote. It's just a retard shit sandwich.
Of elections. And I've got to say there is a view, particularly from Northeastern Democrats, that they look down on the rest of the country as a bunch of bigots and overalls, their Southern cousins who are too oafish to be as enlightened as they are.
Yeah.
And I have to say there's an incredible hypocrisy in that states like Georgia and Mississippi have a higher black voter registration rate than states like Connecticut, the chairman's home state. They have higher black voter turnout rates than states like Connecticut. They have a lower gap between black and white turnout than in states like Senator Blumenthal's Connecticut. And in fact, states like Georgia and Mississippi, African Americans vote at a higher rate than white voters, and in Texas, they're basically equal. One of the sad realities of today's Democratic Party is they define race as follows. If you're a Democrat, you...
Yeah. Not worried about the rest of this thing. So this video that I was showing just now, this is from 4 years ago. Like, they were talking about this 4 years ago. Well, you can't even see it. Man, I'm so dumb sometimes. I'm sorry. Trust me, down here it says 4 years ago. And this was a hot topic back then. And the main disagreement, the main reason why we don't want voter ID in quotations is because they were claiming back then that it was racist. I mean, who is saying it's racist? Well, let me show you.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and
Actually, just to preface this is from, let's see, 9. Oh gosh, okay. Actually, if I hover over it, you can kind of see it. Yeah, it's from 9 years ago, so we haven't really changed a whole lot. But this is fun.
I'm here in Berkeley, California, to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote.
Ooh.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist.
Racist.
They're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you
Racist.
think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Oh, yep.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type
Minority voters are more likely to have a Okay, dude.
people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also would make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain
Yeah, black people don't have the internet, apparently.
fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how.
Yeah, black people just don't have the knowledge. It's not me saying this, YouTube. It's these people, these white liberals. They're saying it, not me.
Of like how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
They don't have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or
They don't know.
like they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of like black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? Do you carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know
They have
anybody
ID?
any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know
Really?
has ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Fascinating. It seems like having an ID is like a normal, commonplace thing, kind of regardless of your skin color or ethnic background. Weird. Who'd have thunk it? I'm not gonna watch the rest of the video. You understand what I'm saying. You get the gist, okay? Good grief. Let's see what's going on over here in Louisiana.
Any instance of a non-citizen voting dilutes the vote of eligible citizens. Local races in Louisiana can often be decided by just a handful of votes, or even one vote in some cases.
Just one.
Secretary of State Nancy Landry and her team are continuing to, quote, clean out Louisiana's voter rolls and taking out registered voters who registered and voted illegally. It's part of a...
So you've got red states that are going through and cleaning up their voter rolls, right? And if, look at the bottom down here. So they had 390 illegally registered voters, and only 79 of them voted in elections, but that doesn't change the fact that there was 390 people registered to vote. How does that happen? Like, they keep telling us that they're not coming in illegally, they're not registering to vote, they're not driving cars, they're not getting any government assistance, they're not getting food stamps, they're not running any scams, they're not trafficking people. In fact, did you know that white straight males are more violent than, I don't know, murderers or something? I can't do it. What is wrong with people? God grief. Anyway, my thoughts on it, honestly, just please, just vote for voter ID. Can we just get it passed and then we can talk about other stuff like next time or something? I don't know. Okay, so let's do something. Where's he at? Eeny, meeny, right here. Yep. So I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna piggyback off of Nux a little bit here. We're gonna do it in tandem or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, it'll be fun.
So, anywho, we need to talk about the SAVE Act because this is incredibly big. All right, sponsored by Rep. Chip Troy of Texas, the SAVE Act would require documentary proof like a real ID, driver's license, passport, birth certificate with photo ID to register for federal elections, replacing simple attestations. Democrats, including Becca Balint, warn it risks disenfranchising millions. What?
Yeah.
Especially nearly 80% of married women who take their spouse's name and may need marriage certificates to match records. She's saying that because women get married, all right, they change their last name, so therefore they need ID with their new last name on it. What? Yep. Republicans counter the bill includes provisions for name changes, obviously compared to routine ID updates for jobs or travel. Yes, aiming to prevent rare non-citizen voting. Duh.
It's not that big of a deal. Calm down.
Super obvious. All right, first voter ID was racist. Now voter ID is sexist. All right, it's unbelievable how they tried to do this. First they were like, black people are too stupid to have IDs. And then, they realized that didn't sound very good. That really...
They're literally saying that. It
sounded pretty bad, actually. So then they're like, no, voter ID is sexist because women that get married and change their names are going to have a harder time. It's tiring dealing with these people. They're retarded and they're trying to steal elections. That's the only thing, bro.
100%. That's like, oh gosh, I think I talked about it earlier in the video. This video is going on too long. I'm sorry. Okay, give me a second. But it's so obvious what they're doing, and who are they? Do they honestly think that everyone is that stupid? Is that the problem? They think everyone is that stupid that they can't figure out how to get an ID. I don't know.
As always, the devil is in the details, right? If you have to produce a passport, for example, in order to register to vote, we have, tens of millions of people in this country that don't have access to passport.
You don't just need a passport. This is
birth
a lie.
Certificate.
You don't just need a passport. You can have a birth certificate. You can have a driver's license with ID. You can have a passport. I think you can even have state ID with a picture. All right?
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy, dude.
Are we going to then waive the passport fee of $150 so that it's not an unreasonable...
You have to pay for a passport, so it's preventing you from voting. What are we serious? All right, so my opinion on voting is that the moment we pass the SAVE Act, the next job is passing an act to prevent people from voting if they don't pay taxes. All right? Whatever. I get into a lot of issues with people with my opinion.
Oh, okay. All right. So, it sounds a little extreme, but honestly, it's not a crazy idea. If you're a normal, productive member of society and you're working your entire life and paying taxes your entire life, and all your taxes go towards paying these politicians' wages, and they're supposed to be representing you, the constituents, I have a problem with all these people laying around and sleeping in gutters and tents and stuff, spending all day, eating garbage and I'm gonna get canceled. All these homeless people eating garbage and just shooting up shit with the free needles they get and the food stamps and housing assistance and free healthcare and of course they're gonna vote to keep all their benefits. Why am I don't want to pay for them. They need to pay for themselves. Okay, all right, sorry.
But we got to restrict the voting pool, man. We got retards voting on our lifestyle, okay?
No kidding.
What are we doing? I'm sorry, man. I don't want Unka Chunka Frinking Chunking who we're importing from Retardville, all right? I don't want that schmuck to be able to vote. It's not a nuclear take. It shouldn't be controversial.
It's kind of nuclear. It's kind of controversial, but at the same time, he's not wrong. If you've got, oh gosh, I'm gonna get canceled. If you've got 100 people, and 80% of those people are normal, not retarded people, and they vote for something, and the other 20 people are just literally just retards, and they don't know what they're even voting for. Do they Do they really need to vote, guys? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay? I'm sorry. I don't want this to sound rude or anything, but I don't want to bring in a cousin fucker with 67 IQ from Somalia who's retarded, all right? And he's not working for a living, and he's on our paycheck, all right? I don't want him to vote. I don't want him to have the right to vote, quite literally, because that guy is a parasite.
Exactly. Yep. A drain, a leech, you name it. Just what I said earlier, like, you work so hard and all of your taxes, you work so hard and then all of your taxes just go to completely sustain these people that don't do anything and don't want to benefit themselves or anyone around them. They just want to continue laying in a ditch and using whatever needles they can find. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Sorry, that's my opinion. So, anywho, I think we need to limit voting a lot. All right, I'm not even talking about getting rid of the 19th Amendment. That's the next step, all right? First, the SAVE Act. First, the SAVE Act prevent the illegals from voting.
Simmer down.
Then, we try to get all the retards not allowed to vote. Then, we get rid of everyone that's on government welfare not to vote.
I'm going to get canceled because of him.
Once all those retards aren't voting, then we can vote against the 19th Amendment.
Oh, my gosh.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah? All right, anyway, that was a joke or something.
Poll tax to be able to show proof of citizenship.
You know, okay, so he said it's a joke. I don't know if he's joking or not. I know in the Bible it talked about like votes for one per household, and I'm not saying we take the votes away from women. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like one vote per household kind of made sense. And of course, you know, you think of the Bible and the way that it aligns with the man being the head of the household and all that stuff. I get it. I understand. I'm going down the wrong path here. I'm just saying in general, like if you have a house, that one house should get one vote. And I'm not going to pull up that video right now, but I saw some videos earlier where some people were going around and they were finding out that some like vacant burned down houses had like 19 registered voters in them. And I think there was like a porta potty in a construction site or an empty lot that had like people registered to vote there too. Like, there's no checks and balances. Anybody can come across the border right now in one of these states, especially if it's a sanctuary state or city or whatever, and can use whatever address they want, whatever documents they have, and register to vote. And Democrats, they say it's not happening, but it clearly is. There's potentially millions of illegal voters right now, and that boggles my mind. My mind can't handle it.
Oh, it's like if you want to log into Discord, all right, you need fucking ID. But to vote for a federal election,
I don't even want to talk about the Discord ID thing. I don't like it. It's an invasion of my privacy.
Get out of here, dude.
You know, another aspect in that SAVE Act is for married women. They say now you have
Oh my god, dude. Like, they're trying everything. Black people are too stupid to have IDs. That's racist. Women are too stupid to get new IDs.
Again, that requires a notary public. Are we going to have notaries at every single poll location? Are we going to require all the married women in this country to go out and then hire a notary to get the affidavit?
I mean, why not?
You know, the devil is...
I don't know any married woman that didn't change her last name that has an ID with her old last name, but not an ID with her new last name.
Me either.
This is insane.
And always is in the details on how these things are manifested.
The devil's in the details. Women are too stupid to get updated ID, so they're not going to be able to vote. I mean, that's horrible. Oh, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing, man.
Nice.
We desperately need women to vote.
Yep. Okay. All right, I'm done. I'm done piggybacking off of Nux for a second here. I'm a fan of Nux and I watch him a lot. And I try not to be as radical as he is. He's radicaling the entire nation right now, and I don't think he realizes what he's doing. He's saving America one cat person at a time. I think maybe, but I agree. I think normally I don't do videos this long. I usually, try to stick to, like, digestive little small chunks, like 10 minutes maybe. But I just feel like voting is so important. And I shudder to think what would have happened if Trump had succumbed to the assassination attempts on him. like, what kind of country would we be living in right now? We'd have, like, Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or someone running the country right now. We'd have wide open borders. We'd have probably 100 million illegal aliens in the country, and every city's local government would be taken over and overrun with illegal voting, and it wouldn't even be in just 2 years. And I know this sounds kind of extreme, but in just 2 years, I almost feel like we wouldn't even be living in the same country. I look at England, for example, in the UK. That place is a fucking shithole right now. Like, no one wants to live over there. We're talking about doing asylum seekers from the UK to come to the United States, for crying out loud. And so I guess what I'm saying is I'm thankful for the president we have currently. I feel like he does really have a America First mentality, and it's not just him saying that. I mean, clearly he's worth billions. He doesn't have to be president. He doesn't have to do this stuff, but he's fighting for, his kids and their generations, and then, all fellow Americans and all that stuff. And I feel like we need to get the SAVE Act passed all the way through, get it ratified, and save the country, I guess. As radical as that sounds, I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'm not a fearmonger. I'm not saying that, what was the talking point with Donald Trump? Like, oh, if he's elected, we'll never have an election ever again. And, I don't believe any of that stuff. I look at what the data tells me, and I look at how ridiculous everything is right now, and potential stolen elections, and oh God, I don't want to get into that too. But yeah, there's the potential that the Georgia election from 2020 could get overturned, could flip a bitch. And then what happens? I don't think we've ever had that happen as a country before. You have a whole state get overturned, and how does that affect the election? I don't know. Food for thought. Anyway, the important nugget out of this is the SAVE Act was passed on the House, and it's got to get through the Senate, and it's not the end of the world. You just need a birth certificate to prove you're a citizen. It's not that big of a deal, guys. And if you're that concerned about it, even if it doesn't get passed, maybe you should go apply and get your birth certificate now if you don't have it. Like, I know where mine is. Every person I know knows where their birth certificate is. Like, it's one of those things you don't lose. Anyway, okay. I'm getting off my high horse. This has been a long one, so if you've stuck out this long, which I don't know why you would, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, I guess. I've never said that at the end of the video, so now I'm saying it this time. So like and subscribe. That's it. Bye.